Mr. Trumbo, 13 years ago, you refused to state in public whether you were or whether you were not a communist, and as a result, you were placed on a blacklist by the powers that be in Hollywood and found that you were unable to get employment as a screenwriter under your own name. Now, who exactly were the powers that be?
Who inaugurated the blacklist?
Yes.
The 6 or 7 major studios in a meeting held at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel early in December in 1947 made this announcement that 10 persons who had refused to divulge before the committee their political affiliation would no longer be employed in the Hollywood motion picture industry, as we call it. I hate to call it an industry.
Did you find then that you were entirely out of work, or did you have some method of circumventing this restriction?
Well, I had methods of circumventing it so that I was never entirely out of work. However, the persons who were in a position to gamble for my services, that is, to gamble that my relationship with the picture would not be revealed to the picture's ultimate damage, were doing less expensive pictures, and hence I earned much less money.
Am I to assume you did this, you worked for them, but your identity wasn't revealed? You worked under pseudonyms?
Oh yes, always under pseudonyms. And there would be times when, if I thought of an original story idea for the screen, or of a screenplay, I would submit it so that no one knew my identity, and it would be sold. In that way, the producer himself would not know that he had purchased it from me.
Mr. Trumbo, what is your attitude to a community that takes such a sanction against an individual?
Well, it is really not this community that took the sanction. The community itself opposed the idea. The heads of the studios at the Waldorf Astoria conference opposed it. However, the owners, the financiers in charge of the studios, insisted upon it. The sanction itself grew, as you know, in 1947 and 1948 out of a great world crisis, in which I think this particular community was no more guilty than many other communities in America, in universities, newspapers, magazines, radio, TV.
Did you never feel that you would like to leave such a community that had treated you in this fashion?
Well, I did not. I really didn't have to feel like it because I was removed from this place by federal policemen and given excellent board and lodging at the Federal Correctional Institution in Ashland, Kentucky for a year. After I returned, we sold what property we had and decided that we would live in Mexico. We moved to Mexico City. I remained there 2 years. I was not happy. I also went spectacularly broke. And I returned, and we have lived here ever since. I'm glad to live here. I like it, and intend to continue.
You now, I'm happy to say, have your name, your real name, coming up on the credits of 2 films. Does this mean that the community has changed in its attitude? Does this mean that the community no longer thinks that a man has no right to keep his political opinions to himself?
This means that many areas of the community have changed, but it basically means that the world is changing. The situation which prevailed when the blacklist went into effect really doesn't prevail in the world of today, and it's reflected in all areas and in all countries, I think. Hollywood, certain individuals and studios have not abandoned the blacklist officially. Some have, some haven't. There may be places where I shall never be able to work. I actually don't care to make the rounds in any event. And they have a right not to hire me now if they don't wish to. I think the blacklist is practically over, and I think we shall see in the next year that all blacklisted people who are capable will be back and working.